Generally speaking, there are three things that you need to be successful in any area of life. They are money. The second thing is knowledge or experience. The third thing is time, and this is what a lot of us do have. In this video, I'm going to talk about three concepts that are considered superhero concepts in investing that allow you to leverage time and do well without having super specialized knowledge or a huge lump sum to start off with. Here we go. The first concept is compounding. This concept, put really simply, is about getting returns on your original investment and then getting returns on your returns. So today is your lucky day because I have drawn a beautiful hand-drawn graph to illustrate how compounding works. So this shows how compounding works. It's got very small numbers, but the concept should be clear. So if we go to year one over here, you can see both people. I've got two people, so on the left is Jack and on the right is Lola. So Jack is purple, he's invested £500, and on the right, Lola has also invested £500. And both of them in the first year earn £25 in interest. So that's a percentage of their initial £500 investment. Then we go to year two and you can see something interesting. Jack has got £500 again, because he decided to use his interest to go shopping, whereas Lola used her £25 interest and put it back into her investment pot. And so at the end of year two, she's earning interest on £525, which comes to £26, whereas Jack is earning interest on £500, which comes to £25 again. So here you can see the small gain starting to happen. Then Jack does the same thing. He spends his £25 and Lola takes her £26 and adds it back to her initial pot. And that takes us to year three, where Jack once again begins with £500. He makes his stand at £25 in interest, where Lola, her investment pot, because she keeps reinvesting her interest, has now grown to £551. And the interest on this money is 28. So you can see Jack, who keeps taking out his interest payments and starting with the same lump sum every year, he's earning 25, 25, 25, £25 a year. That's £75 in total. Whereas Lola is reinvesting, and over time, her interest is growing. So she starts with £25 interest, £26 interest, £28 interest, and that comes to a total of £79. So over the course of 3 years, with these very tiny amounts, Jack has made a total of £75, where Lola has made £79. That's how compounding works. The second concept that relies on a longer time period is called cost averaging. So you might see this as dollar cost averaging or pound cost averaging. And the idea here is that you limit your exposure to risk by investing little and regularly rather than one giant lump sum. Okay, here is another one of my beautiful data visualizations. So on the left, you can see what happens when somebody, or the risk of somebody investing a lump sum. So in this graph, they've invested £1,000 when the stock market is going well, and the very next month, stock prices drop, and they therefore are highly exposed, and a lot of the value of their stock drops. So that is the real term risk of losing money. And there's also the emotional roller coaster of thinking that you've lost everything or actually losing everything. Whereas a different approach minimizes the risk, and that is cost averaging. So the same person, instead of investing 1,000 in one go, they might split it up into £100 payments that they drip feed over 10 months, for example. And so on the right, you can see this other approach. So they invest in the stock market at the same point when it's high, but instead of investing a full 1,000, they invest just 100. Then the stock market drops. And firstly, they haven't lost as much money, but secondly, they have another £100 to invest when it's low. And over time, what this means is that A, they are a lot less likely to lose huge chunks of cash, and B, the cost that they pay over the course of a year will balance out. And so just spreading the risk is the benefit of cost averaging. And the third topic that I wanted to talk about, the superhero concept of dividends, and particularly dividend reinvestment. So not all investment options include dividends, but if yours do, pay attention, because dividends are basically the little payouts that you get for being a shareholder in a company. They usually come from the company's profits. So because you own a tiny little slice of the pie, you get a tiny little slice of the profits. That's essentially what dividends are. But unless you have a very sophisticated strategy and you know how to work with dividends, the advice for people who have time is to reinvest your dividends. And this takes us back to the idea of compounding, which was the first concept I mentioned, because you can take your little slice of profit, your dividend, and add it to your lump sum of investment in your investment pot so that the interest keeps growing, and over time the compounding will work in your favor even better. Right, so whether you are considering investing for the first time or you have just gotten started and you're still getting familiar with all the concepts, I hope that you found this interesting. If you did, please let me know. If there is anything that's not clear, please let me know. And most importantly of all, if you liked my drawings, please give me a thumbs up. Cheers!